Guten Tag, heute ist Mittwoch, den 23. September und ja, ich sage zuerst, wie geht's? Es geht mir gut. Wie geht's dir? Geht dir auch gut? Das ist toll. So, today I'm going to walk you through some things in your online textbook. So I need to make sure you know how to find it. We are going to emcbookshelf.emcp.com. You should have this bookmarked, and if you cannot get into your online textbook, you need to send me an email ASAP. But when you go to Bookshelf now, I just changed the settings so that you guys don't have this many books, you don't have these readers, but you should have access to the grammar and vocabulary resources, the listening activities, the quizzes, the audio program, and the workbook. I can't see what yours looks like, but I just added rights to those things, so you should be able to go ahead and flip through those if you want. It can be really helpful, and I'll probably assign some things from this. So like, for example, if I'm looking at the workbook, here's Kapitel 9. Here we've got some matching questions. You are welcome to do and try as many of these as you want. Flipping forward, some of these activities are better than others. Like, for example, down here, number 4 is a good one to practice matching up prefixes with the rest of the verb. We're going to do something with this Gabby and this Klaus character here on Friday. I'll have an assignment for you with that, but you'll do it on Power School. But I just want to point out that these are there for you now. The grammar and vocab is similar, but it focuses, like in the title, more on grammar and vocabulary. So if we go to like Kapitel 9, this is a mess, but you can try and find 12 words. These are a little bit better with like, write a sentence about something you do with activities. We're going to be writing more about hobbies and activities. That would be good practice. Here it has you put together sentences so that the prefix goes to the end. We worked on that today in class. It gives you some more information about verbs with separable prefixes, and then gives you some practice here. What we did today, and I want you to go ahead and open your online textbook and go to number 7 in the grammar and vocabulary section, is we went and did this together in class. And what we were trying to do is match up this word, Liebe, tennis, Deutsch, Stunde. Do we know what these are? Love, tennis, German, hour. Nachbar is a neighbor. Mittag, midday. Kleidung is clothes. Bücher are books. Äpfel is apple. Zitronen is lemon. Woche is week. And Schlag is to hit, or in this case, whip. And these words connect to these words to make one word. So here you would write something like, for Liebe, Liebeland doesn't make any sense. Liebesaft, that doesn't make any sense. We've got land, juice, cream, racket, peace, shelf, plan, teacher, end, film, eat, and ice. And we went through and did these together. So like, love in this instance would match up really well with film. So Liebesfilm. Now, the thing that we're going to talk about in a second is when you add two words together like that, it takes the article of the last part. So Liebe and Film, Liebesfilm. It's die Liebe und der Film. And the gender for that now, new word, love story, is der. Die Liebe der Film, der Liebesfilm. It's like tennis. Tennis matches well with tennis cream, no. Tennis juice, no. Tennis shelf, no. Tennis Schläger. Das Tennis und der Schläger. So that would be der Tennisschläger. And when you get through these, you are able to click submit, and it will tell you how you're doing. You could also see the answers and use that to help you out by clicking submit, and you can go back and try them again. This is really good practice for those who need it. I'm also going to ask you to prove to me that you did a few of these. I want you to do number 7 here today or tomorrow or Friday. Let's go back to your textbook, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of pages. So Deutsch Aktuell 1. We're going to skip ahead to page Seite 301. And I'm going to walk you through some pages fast. This is some information we went over together in class today. We read again the description of verbs with separable prefixes. So these are verbs where when we use them, like anrufen and einladen, we chop them up. There are times we don't chop these up, and that would be if we use like a modal verb. Like if I'm using anrufen to call. Ich rufe meine Mutter an. I call my mother. Here in this example, warum rufst du Monika nicht an? Why don't you call Monica? I could say I want to call my mother by using wollen, and in that case I wouldn't chop it up. I'd say ich will meine Mutter anrufen. But otherwise, I need to be chopping off the first part of these words and sending it to the end. Notice, here we've got Steffi late for near Zoom party ein. We're using einladen. But when we do, we've got late und ein. Notice it's chopped up, and ein gets sent to the end. Okay? So, let's keep going. Down here we've got vorhaben. What do you have planned? Was hast du heute vor? Wir sehen am Abend fern. We're watching TV. I could say we want to watch TV and wir wollen am Abend fernsehen. Then I can keep it together. But otherwise, unless I use a modal verb, I'm going to have to chop these up. Turn the page. We're on 302. Here are a bunch of examples of words that do this, which separate. And I want you to try and practice this. 5 will sort of make sense. Notice when you click these red boxes, you can play.
Sein Vater. Für die Geburtstagsparty.
It'll play the text for you, which is kind of neat. But you could try and piece these together. The separable verb is at the end here. So like we did these examples in class real quick. Seine Eltern haben an Joachims Geburtstag viel vor. Sein Vater kauft für die Geburtstagparty ein. You can try these and submit your answers to check them. But I want you to give 6 a shot. Answer these. What does Elizabeth have on? It tells you what she has on. Ein Pulli. So, was hat sie an? Sie hat einen Pulli an. Wer kommt ins Kino mit? Alle kommen mit. This is how they would get used. Mitkommen, anhaben. Nummer 3, we're using vorhaben to have planned. Was haben Sie vor? Sie haben nix vor. Wie viel Uhr kauft Herr Sorge in der Stadt ein? You would say, you're using einkaufen. Einkaufen. So, kauft 3 Uhr ein. He's shopping at 3 o'clock. Okay? Try and do 5, 6, 7 and check submit your answers and we'll see how you do. I'm going to move along. We also in class read through this Actuelas. I want you to read this and see if you can connect anything you read there with what was talked about in the Make Me a German documentary. In particular, it talks about how much Germany has a successful economy. It's the fourth largest after the US, China. Can you guess what's third? Japan and Germany. So it's the largest European economy. It's driven primarily by middle-sized companies. US has some huge companies, Amazon, we've got Microsoft and Apple, Google, a lot of these big tech companies. Germany, and they're absolutely humongous. Nike is another one. Germany has Adidas. They've also got Mercedes and BMW, but a lot of their success comes from companies like the pencil manufacturer, Faber-Castell or Birkenstock, or just multiple Haribo candy. These companies who do one thing really, really well. It talks about Germans needing to work less than we do, having paid vacation be law. Please read this and reflect on it. If I might ask you a question about work-life balance someday, and this provides some good feedback there. Volksfeste, we got really sad realizing Oktoberfest would be going on right now. It was canceled for coronavirus. Talks about museums, also haven't been to one of those in a long time. There are a lot of awesome museums. It doesn't give us much other information though than that. Talks about books and particularly young adult books. If you are a big reader and want to check out any German authors, it gives you some good recommendations here. I encourage you to read page 306 for that. Moving on a little bit, we talked about compound nouns a minute ago, and I want you to reread on 308 what happens to the article. The article of a compound noun is determined by the article of the last word. So der Fuß and der Ball becomes der Fußball. But if you have different ones like die Geburt and der Tag, when you stick it together, it becomes der Geburtstag. So there are some more you could practice with on 16, talks about that some in more detail. But really, today we plowed through a lot of ground in our book, and we are almost ready, believe it or not, for a chapter 9A short quiz. So hopefully, if you have any questions, you'll email me and let me know. But do try those practice exercises with separable verbs and compound nouns, because there'll be a little bit about that on your 9A quiz. I'm going to go ahead and set the date for the 9A quiz of being Monday, Tuesday. So Friday in class, I'm going to assign a short writing assignment about two people named Gabby and Klaus, and we're going to review vocab. I'm counting on you guys to open the Gabby Klaus document online and review vocab individually. I'll send out an update and message on Monday, Tuesday about your quiz. So hopefully you watch this whole thing and you're up to date on that announcement. Tschüss, bis bald, Dankeschön.